Okay, so Bitcoin made a lower low today. So is it time to look at shorting or opening longs on Bitcoin? We're gonna talk about Bitcoin and Mara stock. I'm gonna show you guys my in a moment. I'm gonna show you guys the BitU position. I actually closed it today for three reasons. So I'm gonna talk about that. But first, we're actually gonna cover Mara stock because it came to my attention that there is a lot of underwhelming nature and well a lot of people are struggling with keeping track of it due to this sideways consolidation. And in yesterday's video, someone commented laughing if I'm done with Mara. And well, I'm gonna address that because because Mara stock is the company behind it. I believe they're the best, but I think they're in the top three for sure of Bitcoin mining companies around the world. So they're definitely highlighted. That's why there's so much, there's always so much liquidity and we see these massive swings all the time. Regardless of the stock not actually being completely correlated with Bitcoin. Of course, I mentioned that in previous videos, but this person obviously didn't, look at the previous Mara video to look at what I'm looking for to consider this uptrend that we've been tracking for a while now, this uptrend to be over. It's not over yet, and I didn't cover Mara yesterday, and I explained why in that video as well. It was Sunday. There is, at the time of recording, Bitcoin was flat. It didn't have that lower low. So there was no reason to do an update on Mara. Everything from the previous video would be still up to date. And, I'm not surprised a lot of people usually, would express himself without actually doing a little bit of homework, which is okay. Everyone is allowed to express himself in the comments 100% all the time. But the thing is, right? I'm gonna talk about this, and hopefully people are listening because I don't want any confusion. And everything I'm gonna say is just my own personal opinion. It's just what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, how I make sense of the chart. So please do your own due diligence. But I'm gonna explain everything as well as if you guys, a lot of you are probably new as well. So what we have right now is we still have an uptrend forming, right? The previous significant swing low will be right here at 1345. So I'm gonna just leave this highlighted for reference, so we can make that uh yellow. Okay, so this is the swing low I've been keeping an eye on. If we break the 0.618 at $14.30, it it can very much easily close this gap. The gap can easily be filled, and at that point, if we break below the line, the yellow line, then that creates a bigger picture break of structure, which at that point ruins the uptrend. We can have, due to negative U.S. economic data, or any kind of press conferences like we have this Wednesday, August 20th. We have this is Eastern time, by the way. So am I looking at it right? Yeah. So at 2 p.m. Eastern time, there's a FOMC meeting. It's gonna be very, very important um, to set the mood for future economic data and the future rate meetings as well, right? So here's the thing. I said this in so many other videos, but I'm gonna repeat myself again. What we have is an uptrend. If anyone wants to laugh like this person did, well, we haven't actually. This isn't bearish. We're holding support very well. Bitcoin popped back above the point 0.5 retracement. If you want to laugh at this amazing buying opportunity I highlighted in previous videos. Laugh at this one, and then the take profit up here. Laugh at this buying opportunity. Pretty solid, right? Look at that. Our take profit completely filled all the way. Like, solid, two solid swing trades in Mara as of earlier in April. So now what we have is another opportunity to focus on potential upside with short-term strong resistance to keep an eye on. And at that point, I'll have a new retracement to see if the structure is healthy enough to break past this resistance area in yellow. It's overlapping with a value gap right here. These tend to act very strongly as a wall. But what we have right now is Mara stock is in the U.S. market is closed, so no fluctuations as I'm recording this. but we're starting to hold. We broke, and we're starting to hold a little bit above the 120 moving average, and the RSI has not been completely maxed out yet. I'm not saying that this is going to pump higher. What I'm saying, and I said this in previous videos, we saw a very similar setup, characteristic wise, in 2024, where we consolidated, and as we consolidated for multiple months, um, we started getting these bigger swings around, a discounted and premium sideways channel that I've highlighted for a while, until we had a breakout. So I'm not saying we're going to break higher. What I am saying is we can still trade within this area for a while. But even regardless if Mara goes higher, cool. Like that's the whole point of focusing on position sizing and risk management within this accumulation area. That's why it's called an accumulation area and not a buy like crazy area, with the possibility of it going higher and SLs depending on your own risk management. But for me, a solid SL would be down here at the yellow line, right? So 16, or no, sorry, 1345. If we break below that, it causes a break of structure, which then invalidates this uptrend. If this uptrend is invalidated, I think I had it previously, but I deleted it. There was an extension area down here. I'll do a quick estimate right now because the price is still trending. So there's no reason to get ahead of ourselves. But if we break this area, we have we have the momentum to potentially bring this stock down to $10, or even below $10 is very, very possible. But we don't have that yet, and even when we do, I'm not going to stop covering Mara. It's still one of the biggest, or the biggest, or one of them, Bitcoin mining companies in the world, and they're doing something incredible, and with this amazing tech that is constantly evolving throughout our world, in the sense of more people are adopting it, and it's becoming much more important. But with that being said, even if it breaks below and invalidates the uptrend, all that means is that, okay, we're not looking for higher prices. Instead, we're looking to see if the price can come down into a new support area that I had there previously. And then at that point, we're looking at a new accumulation area, lower prices, in very much attractive prices. I believe if this stock were to go below $10, yeah, that would be like a no-brainer in my opinion, and I'll personally be buying and showing you guys the position as well, however long I need to do so until it breaks over $10 again, right? But we don't have that, and it's funny too. Like the day after that comment, now today, it popped up a little bit, right? And it's at short-term resistance. We have a little bit of resistance right here in the low $16. I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue this sideways channel, right? Going from low 15s to low 16s, back and forth, until we have a break of structure out of this sideways channel. It's as simple as that. But regardless, however long, and I've said this so many times, it does not matter if we trade sideways for months, because I documented Mara for months in 2024 with a very similar setup until it finally broke out. And I kept doing that, and I plan to keep doing it with this stock. I have no reason to not do that, right? So yeah, regardless, short term, we're up, but we can still see this sideways channel. We're at resistance. We can see a little bit of weakness, and then we'll see if the short term support continues to hold, and we'll again, we're still in this accumulation area with prices potentially coming up, breaking over $20 for our take profit. Short term resistance starts at 1720. As of right now, I believe, yeah, that's still valid. And then if we break below this yellow line, at that point, well, we're looking for a new, this is where SLs come into place, and then we're looking for a new area to let the price come down to become, again, an attractive stock to potentially accumulate as well. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. Now with Bitcoin, here is the BitU position. I closed it out. It came out to almost $5,000 lost, which I'm very happy with, because here are the three reasons I closed it. So it broke below. First reason is it broke below the 0.618 at $116 or $116,700. That's primary support, and I've said this in previous videos too. If we break below this yellow support area, chances are we can potentially start working our way into the red. And I sold within the red, and I'll tell you guys why as well. It was shortly after the market opened. Second reason is, so first reason was support was broken. Cool. Like that's already good enough to close it out and wait for a new setup, which I'm going to explain to you guys if I'm going to take a longer short soon. There's multiple setups I'm keeping an eye on within certain value areas. Depending on that setup, I will take a long or a short position, but I want to explain this ahead of time so you kind of already know what I'm looking for. But the second reason is we have this important meeting after tomorrow, August 20th. It's gonna be super exciting, and I'm very excited to close out this trade because it allows me to keep an eye on new structures I can form within this meeting. We we can't miss out on this. It's gonna be super exciting to see what the Fed has to say. It's been really tough for them to do their job lately, but it doesn't matter. We're still looking at our value areas, right? Third reason is just like extension areas. I explained this a lot in previous videos. If there's enough momentum to go for the price to break into an extension or a retracement area, at least for me personally, I like to see the price usually extend within that area once again and much more aggressively, because we have a break of structure right here. So this was the last swing low at just above 116.7k. We went up higher, failed to not just hit the 120 moving average. We failed to try to max out this RSI. We failed to break over this swing high right here. We never went into the value gap right here. And I actually moved down the retracement, so it never broke into it at that time. So what I'm looking at now is, because there's so much weakness within the structure, and the price could have bottomed as well. Like it could have bottomed and it could start going up higher. But here's what I'm trying to say. We have enough momentum to reach within this red retracement, which is a much more broader retrace. It's not deep value. Deep value will be down here. We'll see if we ever go into that. It really depends. It really as well depends if we break below this swing low and we start not to see volume attempt to reverse within this orange area, which is to back up this red retracement area, simply with this move right here. So it's very important, right? And what the reason this is so important for me as well is because it allows the price to potentially break 110k, which will allow previous retracement. I kept saying it was very unfortunate and we never saw the price break 110 below the 0.5. It found support and it just rallying up higher, which is okay, right? But now we have an opportunity to actually fill that previous retracement, and it overlaps pretty much perfectly with the current retracement, right? So we have a previous and current one kind of working together. So I'm just keeping an eye on that. If we continue to go up higher, short-term resistance will be volume weakening, breaking over the 120 moving average, and then potentially finding a top within this simple blue retracement area, which is from this swing high, which is, I believe, all-time high as well, all the way down to this swing low right here. So if we break up into this area, it'll be very important for anyone that potentially bought into this dip. Maybe it's a good idea to look at your position, maybe shave. It's up to you what you want to do with it. There was a mistake I made though. Recently, I kept saying we can easily find short-term resistance within this area before going up to 128k. And I didn't shave the position. I should have locked in some profits because we were in resistance. So I failed to follow one of my simple rules, which is if you are into a resistance area, a short-term resistance area, it's very likely that we can see a hold, and that's exactly what we saw. And I didn't shave the position there. So yeah, I broke one of my rules, but that's okay because now we have an opportunity to capture the price within one of these setups I'm going to explain. So the first thing is, if I want to take a long right now, well, we are still in this downtrend, right? We're still making lower lows and lower highs. If we continue to see weakness and the price comes down, makes a new low before going up into this retracement area, which will also allow the price to potentially break this small swing high. It will start creating bullish momentum. So what that looks like is this. It's quite simple, right? So let's just say from this swing low, the price continues higher, and let's just say it hits 19K, right? Let's just say it hits 19K. The idea for me to want to take a long is this. The price goes up, finds resistance around that 119K area, or higher or lower, it doesn't matter, but the retracement will follow the price. It will then come down, find support within the simple retracement before going up higher. This will allow the price to break the swing high, create potential momentum, extend this rally up a little higher in the short term, which then makes it more likely that we can potentially see support hold, in my opinion, and I'll be buying into that, right? And the idea is I'll buy into this, and then I'll have an SL at the swing low. As simple as that, right? And then take profit would be, whatever movement we have. So let's just say we bottomed out right here. We bottomed out. We go up to roughly 119K. We come down and find support roughly within that estimated area. The next take profit area will be right here. And then that's it. So take profit short term there. And then SL will be the previous swing low. The other way I would take a long would be if the price, it doesn't matter what it does in the short term noise, it doesn't matter, but it breaks past the 0.618 retracement at 120.8K. If it breaks over that, then there's a lot of bullish momentum. It's very likely we can soon enough make a new high from here, make a new high. So I'll be looking at buying the moment we break over this. And then SL would be still quite low. I will see where the SL is at if that were to happen, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on potential early resistance right here in this value gap. So it's very important to keep an eye on that. But regardless, it never maxed out this area. So if we do continue higher, quite like fast, 125.2K is a good idea to pay attention to, how healthy the structure is. The RSI looks like it's going to max out quite early before we go up into this area potentially. So again, we're in a bearish trend, so it's very likely that can happen. But if we break up in this area, I'll be looking at retracement for a potential new long opportunity, and then or breaking over the 0.618 and then a new long opportunity. In order for me to want to short, it's quite simple. It's the same thing where the price goes up higher or it comes down a little bit lower. If it goes up higher and we come down into that retracement, if it goes into the blue and it hits the retracement but fails to hold, and the moment it breaks below the retracement, the lowest line, wherever it's at the time, I'll keep you guys updated if that happens, then I'm looking to open up a short with wherever the swing high is, wherever it ends up being as an SL, and then TP, take profit, would be in this orange area. So basically, I'll start taking profit at 112,000 or below. The reason being is because it allows, again, previous support, the 0.5 that was never broken. It allows for that to happen, and then of course within any small short-term fluctuations, that can create an additional extension to see how strong this area is. But as of right now, there still is a little bit of room for the price to go higher. So we can still see some short-term upward momentum. We are at a value gap, so we got to see if it's going to allow the price to max out the RSI. The other way I would take a short, personally, would be we never go up into this blue area. Instead, we start trending lower the moment we break below this swing low at 114.7K. The moment we break below that, I would be looking at buying shorts. So with SBIT, with the swing high. So if it just happens to come down now, the swing high right here will be the SL, and then TP will be the same, 112,000 and below. It's as simple as that. I never said the third reason. Third reason is because this swing trade was starting to become 3 weeks old. And well, with the amount of momentum we've had, especially following after this very nice support holding early and us seeing these all of these resistances being broken. And we start breaking past short-term primary support without having a proper retracement is, to me, seems quite bearish, at least in the short term. So I would rather just close the position, take a small loss, and then continue on from there. And that's where, again, before I end the video, position sizing is so important, and your risk tolerance. Understand what are your own risk tolerance like triggers to cut losses, and then how much you're okay with, right? So it's like, for me, losing basically just about 5K on this trade is not a big deal. I'm not like trying to flex, especially the person that was laughing at during yesterday's video in the comments. It's like, first of all, uh, I don't trade with the most amount. Like, a lot of people trade with way more than I do, but I just closed out a trade that was 75K, took a 5K loss, and it doesn't affect me whatsoever. So like, if anyone wants to laugh or anything, just like look at yourself and see where you are at the level compared to who you're laughing at. And then the other thing too, I trade a bunch of different markets. I don't just trade Bitcoin. I only talk about Bitcoin in this channel because, well, it's I have a passion for this. This is very much an incredible tech that I really want to focus on, and that's why I talk about it all the time. But I do plan on going over a lot of other assets, publicly traded assets in the future, in the near future, because I want to start diversifying, not just talking about Bitcoin and Mara. But I trade a lot of other assets, including currencies, not cryptocurrencies, but regular currencies, other companies, even the S&P. I trade all that. And earlier this year, I was talking to a friend, and you know who you are. I was talking to a friend that watches the channel, and I showed him I made a mistake on a trade, and I lost 50K, and I just brushed it off like it's nothing. The amount I'm okay with losing, and it doesn't affect me whatsoever, um, is much different than other people. So like, whoever you are that was laughing, like, see you lose 50K, you'll probably who knows what you'll do. But yeah, either way, guys, everyone can express himself in the comments. It's all good. But the point I'm trying to make is that, again, I'm not gonna stop talking about Mara anytime soon. Rather it goes up or it breaks down and breaks the uptrend. I'll just be looking at some deep value buying opportunities. It's gonna be amazing, right? It's there's always something to look forward to. There's always good setups. Understand where your SLs should be. Understand where your TPs should be, and of course, just it's very important, I think, for everyone to focus on position sizing, um, especially when we have a big question mark on August 20th on how the market will react to whatever they're going to say in this important meeting, right? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll keep you guys updated. Most likely there'll be another one tomorrow, and we'll continue from there.